I'm Laura, and in this video I'll be talking about what the Equality Act 2010 says about equal pay. The Act says that men and women must receive equal pay for equal work. This applies to employees and workers, whether you are employed on a temporary, part-time or casual basis, and regardless of how long you have been working for your employer. The definition of pay in the Act includes basic wages, bonuses, pensions, sick pay and other benefits such as a company car or a clothing allowance. To be legally entitled to equal pay, you must be able to identify a comparator, and this is someone who is paid more than you and does equal work. Your comparator must be somebody who is of the opposite sex and is in the same employment. Broadly speaking, being in the same employment means that a woman and a man must be employed by the same or an associated employer, either at the same workplace or in different workplaces but with common terms and conditions. The Act sets out 3 situations when men and women must receive equal pay for equal work. This is when they are both doing like work, work that is rated as equivalent, or work that is of equal value. Like work is when a woman is doing work that is the same or broadly similar as a man who works for the same employer. This isn't just what is written in a job description, it's about looking at what work is actually done and whether any differences between the jobs are of practical importance. An example of women and men doing like work is when supermarket employees perform similar tasks requiring similar levels of skill, but the men may lift heavier objects from time to time. Work that is rated as equivalent is when different jobs are rated under a valid job evaluation scheme as being of equal value in terms of how demanding they are. A job evaluation scheme looks at the jobs that are carried out in an organisation and examines the demands of each job under different headings, such as the training or skills needed to do the job, conditions of work, the effort required, and decision making. Points are normally given under each heading, and then the total score is translated into a value that will determine how much the jobs will be paid. So, 2 quite different jobs may actually be equivalent because they have scored the same number of points or fall within the same job evaluation grade. An example of a situation when 2 different jobs might be rated as equivalent is when a job evaluation scheme rates the work of an occupational health nurse as being of equal value to a production supervisor. The third type of equal work is when women and men are doing work that is of equal value. This is when jobs are not similar and have not been rated as equivalent under a valid job evaluation scheme, but they are of equal value in terms of the demands that are made on them. If you raise an equal value pay claim under the Act, a tribunal will normally carry out an assessment to find out whether your work and that of the comparator are of equal value. It's important that the Act makes sure that women receive equal pay for work of equal value, because historically there has been a tendency to undervalue or overlook the demands of work that is typically undertaken by women, for example in caring jobs. An example of a situation when jobs that have traditionally been done either by men or by women and have been found to be of equal value is that of nursery nurses that are mainly done by women and local government architectural technicians mainly done by men. Finally, it's important to be aware that there are some circumstances when even though women and men are doing equal work, it is lawful to pay them differently. The first situation is when the difference in pay is because of a genuine reason that does not involve any sex discrimination. So some genuine reasons for differences in pay might include skills shortages, unsocial hours, rotating shifts, night working, and geographical differences, such as London waiting. The other situation when a difference in pay might be justified is if the employer can show that the difference in pay is because a valid job evaluation scheme found that the jobs are not of equal value. For a job evaluation scheme to be valid under the Act, it must not discriminate on grounds of sex and it must be fair. I hope you have found this short introduction to equal pay useful. If you'd like more information, the Commission provides detailed advice about the Equality Act, including equal pay, on its website, or you can call the Equality Advisory and Support Service if you want to speak to someone about whether you might have an equal pay claim. Thanks for watching.